Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. There is breaking news on TikTok that says that Walmart is closing its doors to shoppers beginning November 1st, that you can only pick up groceries in their delivery line or place your order online. And they're saying that because with the government being shut down, SNAP benefits are going to run out on November the 1st. And people are panicking because they've heard such reports as Walmart announced plans to close stores and lock their doors starting on November 1st, 2025, and that the locations would only allow online orders for pickup in their parking lots beginning on that day. Now, that word is going out to Americans. That is fake news. The rumor originated in a TikTok video misleadingly made in the format of news, with a voiceover declaring that Walmart will close starting November as food assistance benefits run out in the United States. The voice in the video explains that Walmart will allow only employees inside stores and will not allow in person shopping over fears of riots. It states that customers have been asked to do all their in-store shopping before November. Again, this is fake news, but I heard that fake news report on TikTok too. And I thought it was real. And when I started doing this video, it was originally going to be that Walmart is closing its doors to shoppers. But then I'm like, I better go back and check this out because I'm not sure that's legal. So when I went and looked for verification that Walmart was actually doing that, I've discovered that it's really fake news. Walmart has not announced any closure of its physical stores, and certainly not due to the lapse of SNAP benefits. The rumor originated from claims that recipients of Electronic Benefits Transfer, EBT, in which SNAP falls, are planning to loot stores in the event the EBT transfer stops due to the government shutdown of effectively turning the store into a food riot. Now, people are making TikTok videos saying that if they don't get their SNAP benefits, that they are going to rush the stores. And what they were saying was, well, they can't arrest all of us. Well, I wouldn't want to get caught up in that. That is not a good plan. The rumor that Walmart is closing all physical stores, fearing an impending loot due to the stop of SNAP benefits, is another addition to original rumor about food riots. And like the one about EBT recipients looting retail stores, this is also false. No, it's not. I don't believe it's fake news because people are making TikTok videos saying that they're going to go into those grocery stores, take food, and walk out without paying for it. This video was also posted on TikTok of this white woman with a cart full of groceries walked out of the store without checking out. And when the security stopped her, she started arguing with him, saying that the president said that they didn't have to pay for the food, that they could just get the food and walk out without checking out because the government was shut down and they couldn't get their SNAP benefits. I'm assuming this is true. I don't know. Somebody could just be doing this. It looked real to me. And there are other people in stores arguing with the clerks about not having enough money to pay for their food or their benefits having run out. So this is a real crisis in the United States now because some people really are depending on these SNAP benefits. And the government shutting down like this and people not being able to have access to their cards or their benefits, it's going to cause chaos in some of these cities. Now, in some small towns, places like that, people probably won't do anything. But there are people making videos where they are encouraging people to go to grocery stores and get food and run out without paying for it. That is so chaotic. And you know what that reminds me of? The Russian Revolution way back in 1917. Well, it was in the 19 teens before they before they actually executed the Russian royal family, there was a run on food. The people didn't have food. And just like the president now is renovating or adding on to the White House with this elaborate plan for a ballroom so he can entertain his billionaire friends in hopes of shaking them down for money for himself. Now he uses the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago to entertain his billionaire friends because that ballroom is more fancy than the East Room of the White House where formal events are held. But it's a bad precedent that he is setting with the economy being what it is. And again, there are cases around the world where this kind of greed has led to revolution. Back to the Russians. Some of the things that led to the Russian Revolution were poor people being discontent, people not having work, inefficiency and corruption within the government, economic struggles, as in inflation and depression, recession. All of those things are economic struggles that lead to food shortages and inflation. There was autocratic rule from the czar, who was like the king. The people had no political freedom. And there was also a big divide between the wealthy and the poor. People didn't have food. They were just wanting bread, and they didn't even have bread to eat, while the czar was living it up in his palace, entertaining his rich friends, having big balls and big dinners while the people were starving. And at a point, they just decided they weren't going to take anymore. So it didn't end well for the czar and his family. This couple right here, King Louis XVI and his wife Marie Antoinette of France, suffered the same fate as the Russians. It didn't end well for them either, and for the same reasons, living extravagantly, spending money, and giving big parties to wealthy people while poor people suffered. That's basically that's summing it up in a nutshell. When things get so far out of control in a government, when there's a vast gap between the wealthy and the poor, and the governments don't address the needs of the people, it really does lead to the downfall of a government, one way or the other. Now, that's not the case in the United States right now because we do have alternative sources for getting food. I mean, there are the food banks, there are churches, there are organizations that give out food. So I don't think we're at that point yet. But what I'm saying is that is the making of a revolution when people are living high off the hog who have money, and then the poor people are suffering and starving and don't have a means of taking care of themselves. The problem is that the work is hard, the hours get longer, the benefits get cut, but the pay is never raised. Many Americans are not being paid a livable wage. They're working, but they are not making enough to make ends meet. So many people need these government programs. That's all there is to it. But anyway, Walmart is not closing its doors, at least as of now. They're saying that now. But I don't know. We don't know where this economy is going. We don't know how all of this is going to shake out. So we need to try to help each other. If you know somebody that's food insecure and you have plenty, it won't hurt to offer to share what you have. But anyway, we'll see how it works out. Y'all, thank you for listening and have a good evening.